Okay, welcome to the RenYoga University orientation. This is a pretty casual overview of what to expect as we unroll or roll out, I should say, our university. I kind of broke it up into stations here, and then folks can ask questions, and those who are watching the replay can also write in with questions as they wish. But basically, it's what I thought we'd cover is why have the university, format, access, scheduling, topics, and then tuition. So we'll go through those little by little. And again, as questions arise along the way, you can just let me know. So the question is why? Why to start this? Well, for years, my own background in yoga was really about lifestyle, philosophical endeavor, inquiry, spirituality, and those topics. And those are not easily addressed in your typical yoga class where there's movement-based. And as much as I like the movement-based classes, there's a certain narrow scope of events and topics that are addressed. You know, often we do movement for 55 or 60 minutes and maybe a story or a philosophical tidbit at the end. So basically, with the university style course, although I've done a lot of one-day seminars or 3-hour seminars, 2-hour seminars, the benefit of the course, which we're offering here, will be study over a time period, which gives ability for reflection, for further questions, and to let the topic saturate in the mind. And it really allows us to go both depth and breadth of a topic. And yoga teachings need that. It needs repetition. There are a lot of new ideas. There's a lot of new terminology. And I think that as we progress from week to week, I think it'll allow the discussion to really branch out and allow us to lie a greater foundation of the topic that we're going over. So that's the basic idea of the class. So basically that or why the formation of the university. In terms of format, I think at least at the beginning, we'll do one class at a time and one course. And it'll probably be about 4 to 5 weeks, call it a month per class. And that means it'll exist over the course of 1 month. And the meetings will most likely be weekly. Maybe 4 75-minute meetings might make up a particular course. They'll be held over Zoom, and it might start out with a 20-minute lecture, or it might be very conversational. It might be a lot of Q&A, might be dialogue. Depends on that week's discussion and how familiar people are with the topics. For instance, at the beginning, the first course is the Mahabharat and Bhagavad Gita. So that might start out with a overview lecture to start, possibly. We'll have to see. Whereas the second course I'm thinking of doing, I figured we'd go from the theoretical and the philosophical to something very hands-on. I thought we'd go over food, diet, and health. And naturally, although there may be topics introduced, and there certainly would be, but that might be much more conversational dialogue type of session. But so the manner of communication might depend upon the topic of that we're investigating at the time. And then, and the formatting will naturally evolve over time. We're just going to have to experiment of what works and what's comfortable. It might change from group to group. It should be very comfortable. And if as questions arise, there might be some extra Zoom sessions. Suppose someone asks a question midweek in a particular class. And I might give an email reply, but it might say, this is much better in a Zoom conversation. We might just do a 10-minute Zoom. We might announce it. Other registrants could participate in a live of that Q&A, or maybe we'll just post it for those who are registrants after it's done. Which pretty much brings us into access. Basically, these courses will be available to those who are registrants, who have signed up for the class. And only those people who signed up will be able to attend the live class. Each class will be recorded, and registrants will have free access to the class, pretty much free unlimited access. You can just watch it. You can go back later on. You can watch it. And those who are not registered will be able to rent the class if they'd like to just see one, to see what it would be like. Naturally, it'll be more, it'll be cheaper to sign up for the whole thing, but they will be publicly available renting. All the course materials and all the announcements will be done via a private email form for those who have registered. So there won't be, other than offering people to register in our weekly public email, this will be a closed group email for conversation, for PDFs, for resource materials. So that stuff will not be publicly available on the blog. That will be contained within our email discussion group. And the course materials will probably have a variety depending on the topic. It might be recommended podcasts. It might be materials that I've created over the years for various seminars. It might be new materials I create. It might be a podcast introduction that I do. We'll have to see. There'll be a lot, depending on the topic again. For instance, with food and diet, there's so much public material out there already via groups and books. And so that we would just rely, it would be topic dependent, but there will be materials, and naturally people can engage. It's not like you're going to have a lot of homework, but maybe half an hour in between sessions maximum. And it's not really homework, it's just materials to look over, which will obviously enrich the discussion if we're all a little bit more familiar with the topic. With the first course, the Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, there is a podcast series that I've been going through very carefully over the last few weeks, and that one will be its story form, and that will be something that you all can listen to in between sessions, and we'll assign those, and that will be, each week we'll focus on a particular one, and then if you'd like to listen to others in their series, that'd be fine. But they're usually 20, 15, 18, 25 minutes, something like that. Any questions thus far on why, format, or access, to the degree that I've kind of stayed within those realms? Just let me know. Then the biggest challenge, or what I see might be is scheduling. And that's going to be tricky because scheduling is tricky in general. Though we do seem to have pretty good success with our regular yoga classes, the morning classes. Pretty much the same people attend each class, or similar. So there's been a great continuity there. Since I already teach 7 mornings a week, these classes will not be in the morning. What I was thinking, and I also don't want to do them on the same day, because that way, let's say someone registers and they can't make it Tuesday, they've got another engagement that day. I don't want a registrant not to be able to make any of the live classes. That just seems, so my initial thought is to have it maybe on a late Sunday afternoon and then an early Monday evening. That keeps it at the beginning of the week. It keeps them basically a week apart. And, hopefully it's not too much hit or miss, that people can do it. And maybe when people So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. If you folks have any suggestions, I know people sometimes travel on the weekend, hopefully. So if we were to do a class, say 5:30 to 6:45 on Sunday afternoons. I know when I was doing seminars, my seminar time on Sundays was between 2 and 4 and 2 and 5 or 2 and 4:30. And those were extremely well attended. So Sunday afternoons mostly seemed to used to work pretty well for folks. This time I would bump it a little bit later in the afternoon in case you want more time for daytime activity. Anyway, whatever your thoughts are on that, let me know. And so if we would do Monday evenings, it might be from, I hate to say 6:30 to 7:45. That just pretty much smacks right on everybody's dinner time, but maybe, and if it's 5 o'clock or 5:30, it approaches with people's commute for those who are still commuting. So maybe 7:45 to 9, somehow that seems late. I don't know. I haven't really felt the jackpot time with this. It feels like whatever time I give, I feel more negatives than positives about it. But though I'm starting to feel comfortable about the Sunday 5:30 to 6:45 time slot. So
I was just gonna, Sundays are bad for me now, although I could rearrange my schedule. I don't know why Thursday night strikes me as a good time. I think just because it's like, I don't know, the end of the work week, and
yeah, we can try that. We were
weekendish feeling.
we were doing the satsang sessions on Thursday night, and that was Monday
right.
night. That was
Yeah.
Monday. No, it was Monday night. It was Monday.
Oh,
night.
it's Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Monday night. Any of the evenings work pretty well for me. The only problem is Sunday. We have like a standing band rehearsal on
Oh, I
Sunday.
see. Okay.
Yeah, but I could. I mean, we can rearrange that, but I don't know if other people would have things for the weekend or not. But
Okay. Well, there's been a number of people who've been interested in this, so maybe I'll put a call out for
yeah, see what
your times and see what folks think.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then in terms of topics, that's much easier. Topics, we have lots and lots of topics that we can do. The reason why I picked this Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita topic is because it's invariably, throughout the year, I invariably get a bunch of questions about that, which book to read, what, and it's also something that's very misunderstood, both within the yoga community and people who've taken classes on it. They were very confused. A lot of times people read a little bit of the Bhagavad Gita and they don't understand that it's part of the Mahabharata and what the greater context is of it. We'd go, and it's wonderful because it's actually a point of human history. They've done archaeological digs of that region, and they found many of the artifacts to prove that it actually took place. It's also a wonderful launch pad into yogic spiritual thought. There's also a fine line to be marched along the path of Hinduism and yoga. What aspect of this has been colored by Hinduism, and how do the yogis differ from it? And so it's a very dynamic topic. It's also one of my favorite topics. It's something I've been looking at for the last 25 years or so. I've read numerous topics. I've sat in on so many one-on-one and lectures in India on this. And it's just been a big part of my own path and interest. So I always like to share and talk about this. And there's a lot of, it's dynamic. There's a story, there's themes, there's philosophy, there's history, there's application to modern life, daily living principles. It's extremely dynamic. So that I thought would be interesting to start with that. Future topics, I thought we'd go right into the practical after that, maybe food, diet, and health, something along those lines, along yogic teachings on that, because that's something that we're all always working on and refining. But basically a call for topics. We've done 55 different seminar topics in the past, and basically the world of yoga is vast. The topics that the yogis have talked about basically every sphere of life, and we can, I'm very comfortable. It can be talking economics and finances to yoga postures. There's a lot that can be done. So if you have any questions or I have a call, I'll basically put out a call for topics. If there's any aspect you're interested in, just let me know. And then tuition, I was thinking basically, so I have to kind of finish out the exact planning of it. I was thinking it'd be like $75 a class, a course. It'd be that would cut you for the month, and it'd be at minimum 4 75-minute classes plus materials plus whatever little mini podcasts and questions that people may have during the month, and access to replays freely throughout the month. We'll see. It'll blossom as we go, and the more folks engage in the topic, the more interesting it will be, and I think the more fruitful the course will be as well. So that's really what I had in terms of overview of why creating the university and how it may manifest. And I think it's really nice. I don't know why. I think it came to Zoom, the Zoom lifestyle, to bring this to fruition. You can say that we were doing it to some degree earlier when I used to do seminars, a different seminar every month. I think I did that for several years, 10, 11, 12 seminars a year. But that was a one-day thing. So you go in and out, and there's no follow-up questioning. There's very little, and you get what you got out of it that particular day. And people hold on to information better the longer term, of course, that they study it and review it. It sits more in the mind. I just know so many people who, especially with this topic of Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata, have taken something and then a year later they hardly remember anything about it. And I think this time we can build a nice base. And in terms of start time, I was thinking late September, early October, that we'll actually start this first class and first course. We'll see how it goes from there. But that's basically what I got. Those watching the replay, if you have any questions, let me know. And if anyone here has any thoughts or questions, let me know now. Otherwise, this is our little orientation. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for your interest. I know a lot of you have written me about this and expressed support. And I think the main thing is coming up with a day and time for the first course and coming up with a start date. From my side, curriculum is in the works, mostly ready. And that's how it'll go. I'm very open to hearing your thoughts and questions, whatever you may have about this. But thanks for your interest. It's been very great to see how well it's been, the concept of it has been received, and look forward to sharing this with you all and rolling this out. Okay, namaskar.